Now, sorry, my camera stops the recording if I tap against it, so I have to be careful about that. Anyway, no harm to maybe have part A on its own, and now we'll look at part B. So the two cables to secure the mast, that's the X and Y, cost €25 per meter. So we know that the value, or the length of Y was 51.8 meters, and the length of X was 73.2 meters. And the mast itself costs 580. There's VAT at 23% added on, so calculate the total cost of the cables and the mast. So the mast itself costs 580. We'll do that afterwards. We multiply each of these by 25 to get their cost. So 51.8. You could add them together and then do it, or we can just do it bit by bit. So this cable is expensive, €1,295. 73.2 by 25 gives me €1,830. And we're adding that, and we're adding 580 to give us a total cost of 3,705 before VAT. Adding on the VAT, you can calculate it and add it on, or trick is to, of course, 23%, change it to a decimal. So after VAT, we're going to have 1.23 multiplied by 3,705. So you can do it in one step like that. If you like to just find the 23% and add it on, that's fine as well. You get the same answer. And €4,557.15. Okay, so a little bit of financial maths thrown in on the end there as well. Now let's look at part C. The mast can provide a strong signal for an area in the shape of a regular hexagon. So there's our regular hexagon. Hexagon is a six-sided shape, and each side of it is 8 kilometers, and they've helped us out by telling us that hexagons divide into equilateral triangles. That's a fact that if you were in higher level, they'd actually expect you to work that out yourself. It comes from the fact that there's 6 of them, so we have 60 degrees in the center, and of course they're isosceles, so then you 60 degrees down there, which makes them equilateral triangles. They want us to find the area of that hexagon in kilometers squared, correct to 2 decimal places. So they've given you a hint by showing you this line here that we will use our triangles. Our triangles are equilateral triangles, and there's a 60-degree angle in the middle. The area of a triangle, half the base by the perpendicular height, but also a half AB sine C, which that's 2 sides and the angle between them. So a half by 8 by 8 by sine of the angle between them. And then we're going to multiply that by 6. So one triangle is a half by 8 squared by sine of 60, which is 16 root 3. Leave it in third form for the moment. So 6 triangles is 6 times that, giving us 96 root 3 kilometers squared, but they asked for it to 2 decimal places. So just press your change button. 166.28 kilometers squared for our full marks. -1 if you leave it like that, -1 if you leave out the units, -1 if you get your rounding wrong. Now the next part is getting into area and volume. So you can see how the different topics overlap like this sometimes. A circle which touches all vertices of the hexagon can show areas where the signal is weak. One of these areas is shaded in the diagram, and they want us to find this shaded area. So how many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now remember, this distance here is 8 kilometers, which is the radius of my circle. So I can find all of those shaded areas. So 6 shaded areas, if I shaded them in, would be the circle, take away the hexagon. So if I can find the area of the circle, which I can, it's pi r squared, and that's pi by 8 squared, which is 64 pi kilometers squared if you want units. I already know the area of my hexagon because I found it up there. So the area of my hexagon is 166.28. I don't bother with my units till the very end, so 6 shaded will be the difference between those. Use the pi button on your calculator. In the Casio, it's down here. 64 pi minus 166.28, and I get 34.78. And so 1 shaded is that divided by 6, which is 5.797, and they said to 1 decimal place, approximately 5.8 kilometers squared. A big area for the weak signal there. Okay, now, just in case you make a mistake in your calculator, somewhere indicate that what you're doing there is dividing by 6. That's enough work shown you can do it in the calculator, but do indicate what you've done and why you've done it. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And we'll stop there at the end of that question. I think I will do the other 2 questions in class on Monday. Okay, thank you.